Hey, my name's Mark Fletcher. I'm the owner of Tower Systems. I'm also a retailer, and I own News Express, which is a marketing group that helps newsagents transform their businesses. One of the things I love about my job is I get to see innovative retail, and I'm here in the US at the moment, January 2023. Been to the Atlanta Gift Fair. I'm here in New York looking at innovative retail, and I was down on Bleecker Street actually getting a coffee and just noticed on the other side of the street this place called the Players Cafe, and it had lottery signs, and I thought that's weird. It's not your traditional looking lottery type business. And so this business called the Players Cafe was pretty interesting. And so I thought I'd go in and have a look. And what's interesting about this is from the outset, it positions itself as a cafe. You know, you see the products in the window there, says it's a cafe, talks about being a cafe, offers coffee. And so I went and had a look at their website. They pitch themselves as a modern convenience store, one-stop shop for coffee, lottery tickets, scratchers, snacks, gifts, and more. They really focus on sourcing products locally. And so, yeah, they've got the traditional lottery tech where you can check your ticket, you can buy your ticket. But looking from the back of the shop to the front, yeah, it looks like a cafe. It feels like a cafe. They're really focused on providing cafe type services. But at the counter, they've got instant scratch tickets, not presented in the usual way that we'd see in Australia with a corporate image type approach that, you know, lottery retailers are required to have there. Here, it's more about the fun and the engagement. And they've got a small section where you can pick up an entry form and complete that. But what you see in the photo there is all that they do have for that. They've got a wall of winners. They told me in the store that they change these photos regularly. So people, when they win, pretty happy to have a photo taken, and they put that up with a little bit of detail about the people, a little bit of their story, which really personalizes the whole thing. They've got gift bags that they sell. You know, they've got A-frames. This is the main way they do their marketing in the street, by going out and pitching with an A-frame like this, not using too much in the way of corporate signage. You've got regular gift items for sale. You've got locally made cards. You've got locally made jewelry. You've got locally made skincare products, a whole range of gift products that are available there. And you know, they're not hiding the fact that they're backed by lotto.com, which is a business that's busy expanding at the moment across several states of the US. But they're really pitching, and very strongly pitching, that this is a cafe. This is a place for community. It's a very locally driven situation. Everywhere around the business, they're promoting. So here next to the cold brew coffee, there's a sign, you know, every $20 you spend on lottery products, you get 2 free $1 scratchies. You know, they're making no secret about the fact that they're really encouraging you to buy the lotto products while they're busy pitching other things. And they want you to leave a review as well, Google review, Yelp review, which is interesting because one of the ways they're driving traffic to the store is through this social media engagement, whether it's Google, whether it's Yelp, whether they're doing anything on Insta, but they're also using TikTok. And that's a really clever way to reach the cohort they're chasing. This is a business that's really focused not only on the local community, but on a younger player, somebody who is going to be more engaged with the experience rather than I guess, obligation, the felt obligation that you might see with, say, older lottery shoppers who are buying for the dream. These people might be buying for more of a social situation. Certainly, that's kind of how I read it. So the shop itself provides a very, very different feel and experience. We're back out the front of the shop, and you know, I'm here with a retail colleague. He knows a lot about retail, and you know, we looked at it and we thought, what is this place? We have to go and have a look at it. And what we experienced was a very different lottery shop visit to what you might see in Australia and New Zealand, where Tower Systems has its customers, and a very different lottery shop to what you might see in other New York settings. Because in other New York settings, they're, you know, in convenience stores and things like that. Here at the Players Cafe, you haven't got any tobacco products. You haven't got alcohol there. It's very much about local gifts, locally sourced gifts, and they're really making a strong pitch to try and find locally sourced gifts. And it's about providing that cafe experience. Now, this is a startup business that's only a few months old, and I think you're going to see it evolve a lot over the next few months and years. This Bleecker Street is, I think, their first location, but they're also in Minnesota. They're in Texas. I think they're in Colorado. So they're an expanding startup retail situation that's different. Why am I talking about it? I'm talking about it because through what I do with Tower, Tower's got about 1,700 newsagents who are customers. A lot of those have lotteries. And so even though I don't have lotteries in my own businesses and haven't had for probably 10 or 11 years now, and I would never have lotteries for a bunch of different reasons. I do think it's interesting to see what other people are doing to innovate in this space. And that's why I'm sharing this information. If you are traveling in the US and you're near a Players Cafe, I think it's worth having a look at. I would say to the Lot and Lottery West in Australia, it's worth seeing what they're doing. The fact that they are taking a fresh approach where the retailer themselves are having more control over how they pitch the product and how they connect with their community. I think Players Cafe has the way they've set themselves up, they've got a good opportunity to possibly achieve some net growth in who's buying lottery tickets, which of course is what the lottery organizations would want. I'm glad I saw the store. It was interesting, it was fun, and very different. And like I said, we stood at the front and we're like, what is that? That's, even though it says lotteries, it doesn't pitch as a lottery business. And I think that's what's interesting about innovative retail, when we have something that is different to what we expect when we first see it. And that gets us to go in. And by going in, we then start to explore. And I mean, isn't that what we all want in retail? Thanks for watching. Hope you found it interesting.